pencil, that'll be great. We'll get two analysts to look at this. Sameer Dalal of Natwarlal & Sons will look at the fundamental side of some of the market movers. Ruchit Jain, Angel Broking, we'll get a technical view on some of these stocks. So let's just start with the Nifty itself. Ruchit, Sameer, always a pleasure to speak to you, but let's just put up these stocks. Let's start with the Nifty, then we'll take ITC, we'll take Talwarkers. So let's take these three stocks. And Ruchit, first of all, on the Nifty itself, what's going on? I mean, in terms of levels, 7,600 looks like a support right now. I mean, you can look for some minor support here and there. And then if you can comment on ITC and Talwarkers, if you look at it.
Yeah, good morning, Ashu. So first, coming on to Nifty, probably Nifty has multiple supports around this 7670, 7660 range, and the markets after this corrective action since last 5-6 trading sessions are now trading near the lower end of that range. So it's prudent, it would be a good strategy to go long at current levels in spite of markets being negative today. We are expecting a retracement of this last 6-7 days corrective action whichever has been done, and the 50% retracement would come around 7830, 7835. I'm talking about Nifty spot over here. So keeping a stop loss below 7640, traders, short-term traders who are looking for trading from next 2 to 3 days perspective, they should go long on Nifty at current levels. 7640 would be the stop loss, and target on the higher side would be 7830. Coming on to stock specific, as we spoke, firstly ITC, probably if we observe daily charts of ITC since last couple of months, some very interesting observations are there. On the day of budget, the stock made a low of 268, and from there it recovered to move up to 330 in just 2 trading sessions. So around 230 to 268 to 330 was the movement in 2 days of the budget, and since then, last couple of months, the stock has not done anything. It has just remained sideways. 310 used to be the lower end of the range, and 340 used to be the higher end of the range. So range-bound trading session was seen in last couple of months. Now, one thing is to be noted, Ashu, over here is that today the stock did breach the lower end of the range, which was 310. But in spite of such negative news coming in the stocks, in the stock, the stock is not showing any selling momentum. Prices gap down, again recovered from the lower levels. So that's a positive sign that in spite of the negative news coming in the market, the prices are not going down. At every lower level, some sort of buying support is coming in. So I think the sideways consolidation would still continue. I'm not expecting the stock would go much lower from below levels. So if anyone is anticipating that due to negative news the prices will go down, I would differ from that view. I think the prices would again pull back higher up to 335, 340 higher end of the range. And once this bad news is out, and once any sort of good news comes in the stock, I think the stock has the probability to breach the higher end of the range of 340. So from positional perspective, one should not be short, or one should not be much negative on the ITC, because the prices are not showing any kind of selling momentum over here. Third stock which we spoke about was Talwarkers. Well, probably the positionally, if we observe the stock, then there's continuously low top, low bottom formation in the stock. In spite of today's stock going up, I don't think there would be much of follow-up momentum in the stock. So unless we see any kind of higher top, higher bottom formation again coming into the stock, I think it's just a sell and rally stock. Major resistance for the stock will come around 220, 222. So only if it crosses 222, then I think this trend would change to higher top, higher bottom. Till then, one should not get too much excited about today's up move.
Right, Ruchit, excellent point you brought up. I've got a 3-month candlestick chart. Actually, not only is the stock in a downward channel, the candles are actually expanding, showing that the closing prices are way lower than the starting prices leaving today. So, from a technical perspective, Ruchit, do you really have to be in this stock?
No, I think that from technical perspective, we should move out of this stock unless, as you have mentioned, whenever the stock goes down, there are large bodies, large red bodies, and whenever there are pullback moves, we have not seen any significant large pullback days wherein the stock was up significantly. So that's still a negative sign. So unless we see any change of trend, comes, till then it's just a sell on rise for this stock.
So let's just get 3 more stocks. I'm sorry, I really don't have enough time today to take both a fundamental and technical view on each stock. So Sameer, 3 stocks for you: Bata, Dabur, and UPL. All of them may be playing up in the economy, I don't know. But if you had to pick just one of them, which one would it be?
Would it be for going long?
Yes, going long. This is for Samir, Ruchit. I'll just come back to you with some other stocks. Samir?
Okay, so I think of the three at the moment, UPL would be the one stock that I would go long. Although the stock has seen a huge run-up recently, I still think, given that we are heading into a good monsoon for the domestic market, I think the sentiment will remain positive. And if that does happen, UPL, which caters to, they have Advanta as a seed company, they do pesticides, fungicides, insecticides. I think the growth opportunity for them going forward is also much better. So even though, you're asking me to pick one, I think UPL is probably my best pick, but I would not go out and buy it at $600. I'll wait for a small correction in the stock. The stock has run up from almost 380 lows during the budget time to about 600. So I think there is a correction due in the stock, so wait for it. Bata is something, again, if you see a good monsoon rural demand picking up, Bata would also be able to see some uptick in its volume. So that is something which I would also keep an eye on. The third one which you mentioned was which one? I'm sorry.
Dabur.
Dabur is a great stock. Valuations are expensive, so I think just from that point of view, I think UPL would be my top pick, yeah.
Right. So I'm going to show you all the three charts. Actually, all three charts on a 3-month basis look pretty decent. The strongest, UPL looks the strongest, but Bata, all three of them have a nice trending 3-month line. Richard, very quickly, just out of the three, technically, which is the strongest that you find?
Even technically, UPL is the strongest stock. We have seen the previous highs have been breached, and generally when stock comes to the all-time highs levels, we come out with the target areas with projections of previous corrective move. So the previous corrective move on weekly, monthly charts, which was there from 570 to 350. So if I take out reciprocal retracement, then first resistance for the stock would come around 632. So you can take that as a target area for the stock, 632. And above 632, the next major resistance for a medium-term perspective would come around 700 levels, which is 161.8% projection of previous corrective move. So one should continue to be bullish on UPL. I think this stock won't show any much corrective until it tests 632.
Okay, I'm just going to take a couple of stocks that are very strong on the mid-cap side, but some of the names, they just pop out of nowhere. Exchanging Solutions, XCHANGING, Gokul Agro Resources, Hind Composites have been running up, Upper Ganges, and I'll take some of them. Diamond Power Infra was running up before, and it started again. Can you just give me a 3-month chart on this Hindustan Composites, also on Upper Ganges and Diamond Power Infra? Let's just take a look at these three stocks. Tarmat. This Tarmat also starts to run, but they're not the cleanest charts, as you can see. A lot of things happening out there. Richard, if you and Diamond seem to have leaped all of a sudden and then kind of gone off to sleep. But anyway, let's put up three more stocks: DCB, PI Industries, and Raymond. 3-month charts for all of them, and then we look at today's move, if you can. So DCB Bank, and then not the cleanest, but anyway, let's just put up Raymond. Also Kakatiya Cement. Raymond seems like a pretty solid chart, and Kakatiya Cement. Richard, a quick comment on all of them, especially this Kakatiya Cement. Now even the volumes are pretty strong, and it seems to have been in a clear uptrend over the last 3 months.
Yeah, so Ashu, amongst all the names you took, many of them are quite illiquid, wherein not much shares are traded. I'll just comment on Kakatiya Cements. It's probably continuously making higher top, higher bottom, and the momentum seems to getting more stronger with RSI on the monthly charts going above 80 levels. So I think definitely I won't suggest to go long at current levels, because it's already in overbought zone. But any kind of correction if comes in this stock, then I think it would be a good stock to enter amongst the mid-cap stocks. Apart from that, Raymond, Raymond chart which you just showed, I think that has given a breakout from a falling channel during last week. So I think some sort of good up move could be seen in Raymond amongst these mid-cap stocks. On the higher side, 514, 515 technically comes the next resistance. So that is still about 10 to 12% away from its current market price. So I think amongst all these stocks, if anyone is looking to go long currently, then Raymond could be the stock which one can go long.
Samir, three stocks, if you could look at, one is Syndicate Bank. Of course, it's got strong momentum today. I'll also put up the 3-month chart just to see visually where it is. Den Networks, that's another one that's been running up pretty strongly. And one, Indiabulls Real Estate. So Den seemed to have gone into some kind of a channel, but Syndicate looked fine. And let's just take a look at Indiabulls Real Estate. Well, that one has a nice smooth chart. That is technically. But Samir, your thoughts on either of these three?
I'll give you a bit on Indiabulls real estate. Last time I was speaking to you on the channel in the morning, that time the news of the increase in the FSI to 2 was being played out. And one of the things with Indiabulls real estate is they do have a bit of inventory that they have in the city of Bombay. And that is, I'm talking of the island city. So I think if the FSI increase, which I think is being factored in, is to come in, Indiabulls real estate would definitely be one of the bigger benefactors from that increase in FSI because of the current land bank that they have. So I think the rally is based on that. Now, if you ask me, would I be looking to buy Indiabulls real estate based on that? No, I probably wouldn't. For the simple reason that the island city has so much unsold inventory of real estate that by the time that gets sold and the additional FSI which they get, they can sell out. I think it's going to be a while and you're not really going to see translation into too much profitability. Now, if you even just see the Godrej property numbers, kind of indicates very clearly that sales offtakes are not happening at the moment in the real estate space. Prices have reached points where affordability has become a big problem. So I get a feeling real estate is something that, although there are people bullish on it, is something I would prefer to stay away from at the current point of time. Coming back to Syndicate Bank, what you mentioned, I still think the NPA issues are there for all of these banks, and I would like to see what kind of numbers come out from the Syndicate Bank. And I think the numbers are not going to be very, very positive. So even though there is a bit of a rally, I think that could probably get eliminated very quickly once the numbers come out.
All right. Samir, always a pleasure to speak to you. Thank you very much for joining us, Samir Dalal with Natverlal & Sons on the fundamental side. Richard, as always, a pleasure. Thanks for walking us through all those amazing charts. I wish I had more time. I got a couple more charts for you, but Richard Jain of Angel Broking. But we have the world of mid-caps coming up.